Hello, Internet! Welcome to 2.5 Brains. This is our weekly Survivor recap, Survivor Season 43, Episode 5. We're going to break it all down, talk all about it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. You can like our Facebook page. It's Pavement Road Prod on Facebook. Email the show directly, pavementroadproductions@gmail.com. Subscribe right there on the YouTube channel. Share the post, tell your friends, and let us know what you think. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a moment. Obviously, we have the Amazing Race show coming out. We're probably around the same time this one comes out, so be on the lookout for that. We'll have another politics show coming out here in the next few days as well. So a lot happening. Be sure to subscribe so you get it all. Anything you don't want, just you can cancel it. But in the meantime, subscribe so you get everything, and you can just obviously go from there. So I'll go ahead and get started here in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Jessica. Jessica's obviously going to be joining us again. It's been working out well. It won't happen this week every week. Obviously, especially in mid-November, we're going to be missing a couple episodes. But definitely for now, you can subscribe and get everything when we do get it out, so you don't miss what we have going on. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Jessica in just a moment here.
Yes, sir.
Jessica, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah. I can't deny my fans. So
Yes, exactly.
if you vote for me, I'll just keep doing it, I guess.
Exactly. They love Jessica. The show that she's been doing the most work on has been our best show, and that's no Quinky Dink. So.
I know. I'm so likable.
Indeed, she
I
is.
have a wonderful voice.
She's wonderful.
Beautiful. I just got my hair done recently.
Indeed.
You know.
All those things.
Not to talk about myself.
So let's go ahead and dive in the episode then, Jessica, if you're ready.
I am ready.
All right. So what did you think of the episode overall?
It was fine. It kind of expected some of the discussion that was going on and things are happening. And, I called how the challenge was going to end and all this. And, I figured it was going to happen because of how the episode started and just continued to talk about the revenge tour, if you will.
For sure. Yeah, I know somebody else on a revenge tour right now. But anyways, they also wear blue, so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes red, and sometimes white.
Sometimes red.
Oh, red, different. There's red in there.
Okay.
The red, white, and blue colors. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get started. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get started here with the three most that mattered. Yeah, whatever. Let's get. Yeah, I know. Me too. They do tickle me.
Anyways, let's get started.
Let's get started. Yes, obviously we've been keeping it around the half hour and try to keep it around that way again. So be sure to subscribe, like I said, and we'll get started right now. So Jessica, let's start with as we always do, three moments that matter. We can also do the who did not survive and what they did wrong. Also, the top three and bottom three of the week. Obviously, we'll start with the bottom three and then the top three. But as always, let's go ahead and start with the three moments that mattered. Moment number one is
challenge throw.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Oh, Ryan decided on his own that he should throw the challenge to go to Tribal to make a move to get rid of Cassidy. Yeah, you shouldn't make those decisions on your own. And he was in a decent spot for a while, and now the tides are now turning against him.
Yeah. So, obviously, the whole episode, Red Team wasn't even really in the episode at all. Barely. And so it was a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue. So you figured either it's going to be red because they're going to spend the entire, half the episode building up to their Tribal, or it's going to be more likely blue because blue is the one who's kind of, in that spot. So, here's the thing.
Always a thing.
Almost always, a team throws a challenge and then they lose. Like, almost exclusively. In fact, I would say the few times that they try to throw a challenge and didn't, they end up the person they try to get rid of and don't get rid of ends up winning. A couple exceptions, but I remember back on it was Survivor Worlds Apart, season 30. They all wanted to throw the challenge, and it was Mike and Rodney and Joaquin and all them were trying to throw the challenge, and Mike was like, he literally told the other team what to do while he was like up there, and then he kept losing on purpose so they get more chances so they would do it. And then they eventually threw the challenge just because they wanted to save the person on Lindsay or I think it's Lindsay. They wanted to save her and the other team, and so they're like, all right, we'll save her and we'll get rid of Joe Anglim, Joey Amazing. And instead, and that was what the plan for Rodney and Joaquin. Instead, Mike and Joe flipped it over on Rodney and got rid of Joaquin. Almost always, somebody tries to throw a challenge and it doesn't work out. Especially when you're the only one throwing the challenge. If you and your whole tribe are going to throw the challenge and you successfully do it, then you maybe have a shot. Like they threw a challenge to get rid of Russell back in 22 and they did it.
It happened recently too. I forgot what season. Was it Nick's season or somebody? They kept trying to throw the challenge and throw it and they just couldn't throw it, so it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was
Blue.
Jonathan with Lindsay and them. They kept trying to. I thought, didn't he try to throw the challenge?
They might have. I think they definitely did. I was thinking actually the Blue Tribe this season before that. Because they were trying to get rid of Erica and throw the challenge, and they couldn't do it.
And they couldn't do it, yeah.
And then I remember on Sarah and Tony's first season, the Bronze Tribe was trying to throw the challenge to get rid of the late great Uncle Cliffy and Lindsay, and so, and the orange and the green team was so bad. The brains, or as Cass called them, the crap for brains tribe, couldn't win. Like the orange team, the bronze team was like there was like a buoy in the water. They had to like go get it and swim with it, and they're like pushing it ahead of them. They're intentionally losing it, so they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And then it took so long for the green team to not do terrible. They just ended up having to just end the challenge because it got pathetic. Like so that they tried to throw and they couldn't either. But the only other thing that came to mind, it's super easy to say you threw the challenge after the challenge.
Right. That's my plan all along.
Right. Like the great Philip Shepard, who I think grew up in Rochester, New York, and he's a lunatic, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He the specialist, his nickname is the specialist. He after a challenge, he lost. He pulled everybody in the tribe aside individually, said, "Hey guys, just so you know, I didn't want to win the challenge, and here's why." And maybe he was telling the truth, but I highly doubt it. It's way like if Ryan was really throwing that challenge, and he didn't just screw up, he should have said it beforehand, and should have told the cameras beforehand at least.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Could be editing. We don't really know.
Could be. Yeah. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I mean, then he tried to do the Zane strategy again, which is the second time this happened this season. Where somebody's like, guys, if it's on me, you gotta vote me out. You gotta do what you gotta do. Like, there's no point to do that. Like, there's no point.
You really need to act the opposite way. Be like, I really don't want to go, but I know everybody's probably mad that I didn't do well and we lost. It's like, I really want to stay here. What can I do to stay? You're better off acting the scared person instead of being the nice person.
Right. Absolutely.
Because then they're really going to believe it and they'll be like, oh, he has no idea.
Yeah.
Instead of.
For sure. And he was laying on really thick, and Cassidy saw through, and a bunch of other people saw through. I mean, I feel like Carla and James did too.
Yeah.
But it was just, they're like, he's just laying on super thick, and it was not great.
Yeah.
What's
for
next?
Sure. The Christina Cha-Cha.
The Christina Cha-Cha, yeah. So, Christina Cha reference, which is fun. She was on Kim's season, one of the many airheads on that season. So Christina Cha on her season was the decoy vote, and it was like Troy Zan was the only one left, and then it was Kim and her girls, and Tarzan, but Tarzan was with the girls. So Troy Zan was like winning all the challenges. He's like, "This is my island. I'm not going home." Blah blah blah. Yes, they had a person named Troy Zan and a person named Tarzan on that season. Yep, good times. Troy Robertson, though, he's friends with Jeter, so you gotta like him.
Yeah.
So anyways. So he kept winning the challenges, kept staying in there, no matter what happened. He's like, I'm gonna fight all the way to the end, blah 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 blah. And it was like Troy Zan and like one other person, and then all the girls in Tarzan were aligned. And they're like, hey, we gotta throw the votes on Tarzan. I think it was Troy. We gotta throw the votes on Troy Zan, and in case he has an idol, we have to split the vote. Because if he has an idol, he's gonna play it, and then one of us is gonna go home. Mm-hmm. So we have to split the vote on Troy Zan and Christina. So if they split the votes, if we split the vote, so that way if Troy Zan plays an idol, it'll bounce back on Christina and not one of us. And they told that to Christina, and she said okay, because if you're the decoy vote, if like, hey, we're gonna throw the votes on you, or you're gonna be the other person who gets the votes. And in case the target has an idol, you'll go home instead of one of the people that matters. And she was okay with it. So I say that here because it was obviously the opposite in this case. But Cassidy got votes from Gio last time. Yeah. She knew she was going to get votes from Gio again this time. Mm-hmm. And James and Carla are like, hey, it's okay, stick to the plan, blah, blah, blah. But it's not smart to stick to the plan if you're the vote. Obviously, you have to trust somebody. You can't blow up your own game out of fear. You have to kind of just stand up and take it and risk it.
Right.
But if she was like, oh, okay, yeah, no big deal, and didn't question it at all, that'd be really, really dumb.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it was Christina Cha-Cha, because Christina Cha was just like, oh, so I'm going to decoy vote, so if he plays the idol, I go home instead of one of you? Okay, that's fine. It's like, no, it's not fine. It's not at all fine. Pick somebody else. Get my name out of your mouth. So.
Yes.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I'm just trying to connect that situation to what happened tonight because no one was really agreeable. Like, I'll be the decoy vote.
No, but they wanted Cassidy just to be like, okay, it's fine. They're gonna vote for me. She knew that she was getting votes.
Oh yeah, because she knew her name was gonna get thrown out by them.
Right, and she knew that Ryan was a safer. She knew Ryan didn't have an idol. It'd be a safer vote to vote for Ryan.
Actually, Ryan does have an idol. I thought Ryan has an idol. No,
Carla has that.
Carla has an idol. I thought he got something too.
He might have an advantage of some kind, but
yeah.
But Carla has an idol, and they don't.
She's got the bead ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're. Maybe he has an extra vote, or he has an advantage, maybe some kind. I'm not
sure.
But so,
I may not be watching. I don't know.
But Cassidy is afraid because she's like, if we vote for Gio, he might have an idol. If we vote for Ryan, he doesn't have an idol. So I'd rather vote for Ryan in case it bounces back. In case Gio plays idol, bounces back on me. She wants to go for the safer vote and vote out Ryan instead.
Yeah.
So she's trying not to be the Christina Cha-Cha.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. What's next?
Knowledge is powerless.
Yes. What's that all about?
No one uses the knowledge is power advantage correctly, or, I mean, he just didn't use it tonight at all and walked out with it in his pocket, Mr. Gio.
Yeah, so tell me about that.
Tell you about the knowledge is power advantage.
What happened? How did he get it?
So he went to the island with your boy, Jesse and Janine. Mm-hmm. And they had to row their boat gently down the ocean, which was really wavy, to the beach, to the table, to basically decide if they're going to risk or save their vote. Gio was laying it on very thick as he was going there, and everybody was kind of listening like, I don't know if I believe his sob story, blah, blah, blah. So they all get there, and lo and behold, they all decide to risk their vote. 1 in 3 chance. So your boy didn't get it, as I said. Janine didn't get it. Gio ended up getting the knowledge is power, which is where at Tribal you are allowed to ask one person one question, either if they have an advantage or if they have an idol, and they have to tell the truth. I don't know how they police that whole thing with that. And they have to give it to you if they have something.
It's stupid. I mean, I hate that you have to tell the truth. It's a game about lying. Don't make somebody have to tell the truth. It's truth serum advantage. I hate it. And it hasn't worked out because the first time they knew who was, it was Liana knew that Xander had it. He had a fake one. He gave the other one to Evie or whatever.
Yeah, that just set up a really good play.
Right, it all did, exactly. And then the last time, I think that was used incorrectly as well. I don't remember what happened last time, but it didn't go well for the person who had it. This case, Gio goes out with it in his pocket, and he didn't get a chance to use it, so it was powerless.
Didn't Dre have the knowledge of power last time or something? Maybe. I'm not sure. It's hard to remember, but they never work out.
They never work out. Haven't worked out yet.
Right, exactly.
What's next?
Who did not survive?
Yes, and here's the crazy part. So there's two parts to this. Who did not survive, Jessica?
Gio.
What did Gio do wrong? I have 2 points. But
he didn't really have a great alliance. He thought he did, but nobody that was actually working with him, more so just kind of keeping him around for the vote. Secondly, I guess trusting the wrong people. Oh, my cupcakes.
Yeah, trusting the wrong people. That's definitely right, though. I mean, he was with Ryan, and he thought, I don't know what he thought, because he voted for Cassidy. I mean, the question was, Cassidy asked him if he even knew what the heck was going on. And I don't think he did, because he said Cassidy is going out. She's not in our alliance. But everybody voted for Lindsay except him, who voted for Cassidy, and Cassidy voted the right way. So if Cassidy's not in on the vote, why did she vote the right way? when you voted the wrong way. Like, and obviously he said, oh, Ryan told me that throw one on Cassidy just in case. So I guess he knew where the votes were going, but he wanted to, throw one on Cassidy just to be safe, which is fine. That's what he wants to do. And that's what he said to, that's what he said to Cassidy and, whatever. There's no reason not to believe him. But two things I think he did really wrong. Well, I guess that was one. He thought that he was in the know. He thought he was in on the alliance. Maybe he really was. Maybe he was originally, whatever. But he had no doubt in his mind that Cassidy was not involved, not in the alliance. But you can't be that sure. You can never be that sure.
Yeah. And
he was super confident about it, super cocky about it. He was talking like he was running the game, and he definitely wasn't listening. And that's a big problem. The second thing is Carla. I should have thought this before. Carla just pulled a Sarah. When Sarah's season when she won, there was a player named Sierra who's married to Joe now, who had an advantage. She trusted Sarah and said, Sarah, I have this advantage, and if I can vote it out, I have to give it to somebody. So I'm going to give it to you if I can vote it out. I hope I don't get voted out, but I want to build trust with you by telling you about this. And Sarah goes, fantastic, and voted her out. And not only that, but she pretended that she didn't know who voted her out. So Sarah, by the time she realized that Sarah voted out, she already gave it to her. It was too late. Carla finds out he's got this advantage where he can steal somebody's idol. He may want to steal mine. Let's get rid of him before he can do that.
What if he suspects me? What if he's suspicious? Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so she, in self-preservation, is like, you know what? Let's just get this advantage out of the game. The great irony is the two people in the game, Jesse and Janine, who ran that boat ride with Gio, didn't believe that Gio was in trouble, so they risked their vote because they could have just given him the advantage, but they risked their vote because they didn't trust him, and he was lying, and then he got voted out. So they'll I mean, obviously whatever, but they'll never really know that he was lying to them at the time because they might see that he's gone, but oh,
yeah,
and he got it. So they risked their vote because they didn't trust him. It worked out in his favor, and he still lost, which is crazy. It's just like, I mean, it's just really, really insane.
So when do they get their votes back? Is it at the merge?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I don't know if it has anything on there.
Don't.
How do you earn your vote back?
Well, you lose it your next tribal.
You lose it for your next tribal.
Yes.
So, okay.
But I think it's your next tribal, the next one you go to.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
is at the merge now.
Right.
So it's very interesting. So they're merged at 13, but at least two of them can't vote.
Right.
And I know with the thing with if you do the BOA advantage and you don't get the stuff, you get your vote back at the merge in that case.
Yeah.
But everybody got the idol. So there's now 4 active idols in the game right now.
That multiple people know about, then none of that are a secret.
Correct.
Yes.
And even if they didn't know that, they're all gonna talk and they're all gonna know it.
Yeah.
Right? They say, did somebody ask you for beads? Oh yeah, that's what that was for.
Yeah, eventually people might start talking about
At
it.
the very least, that's gonna happen.
I mean, some don't. I don't know. Nobody knows about Carla's, actually. Gabler's, they know about that. Someone, I think Sammy knows about it or something.
Everybody knows about it, but they just don't know if it's active.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Everybody knows about it. And then, who was the other tribe?
Janine has it.
Oh, yeah, Janine.
Carla.
And then Allie's the only one that, well, everybody knows about that one, too.
Yep. And then...
Yeah, Janine, Carla, and what's the other one?
Cody has it. Is it Cody. And I don't know if I don't know if Noelle knows, but everybody else does.
Yeah, exactly. So
Noelle,
a secret.
Noelle will know by the time we get the merge.
Noelle.
Spelled differently, but yes.
That's fine. Christmas music.
Exactly. So that's what Gio did wrong, and the answer is a lot of things. It's just crazy though because they didn't trust him because he was saying, "Oh, I'm on the outs," and he wasn't. He was lying. So they risked their vote to keep him from getting the advantage. He got it anyways, and then he wasn't on the outs, but he got voted out. So like it's just couldn't have scripted it better. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That being said, let's talk about the top 3 and bottom 3.
Yeah.
As we do. Mm-hmm. Start with the bottom 3 in no particular order, but I'll tell you what. Once again, this was way easier than the ones who did a good job this week.
Everybody's doing terrible.
It's there's a lot of bad gameplay. But that's why I could really look forward to a nice returning season. It's people who know what they're doing, in theory. But the way Probst is talking, everything happens between. Probst is talking like a Gen Zer right now. Everything that happened before 40 didn't exist. Everything that happened before the birth of 41 didn't exist. They dropped the 4, kept the 1, and history doesn't matter. Just saying. So, because history doesn't matter, they may not ever go back to anybody before 40, and that's fine. There's some people I don't need to see again, but I would like to see some good quality players return. See some players get a second shot, as we've talked about in that during the offseason. We kind of talked about that, but let's go ahead and talk about the top 3 and bottom 3 of the week, and we'll start with the bottom 3. And number 1, I guess you can say in the bottom 3 is Ryan. Jessica's winner pick, Ryan. Yeah, so Ryan. Yeah. So let me ask you this, Jessica. Why is Ryan in the bottom 3 right now? Any idea?
Because of his story that he didn't need to tell and shouldn't have acted that way. And yeah, I mean, people kind of, I feel like, kept him around just for, their purpose.
Yeah.
And now that he's not serving that purpose, people can't trust him. And he's just not putting himself in the best situation.
No, for sure, I agree. And he's the only one left out of the vote, right? So, he's definitely on the outs of that tribe. Obviously, we'll see what happens. And a merge is the best that could happen to him because obviously, everybody's going to be scrambling for numbers, and he probably won't be the number 1 threat on the board to go out at the merge. So that may be a good thing for him. But, he'll have some. He can stick with his tribe because they're going to probably want him because they're going to need the numbers, or he can jump somewhere else. I'm just shocked that blue has less members than yellow. Yellow look like they're going to be dead at the right. They look like they're going to be terrible. Or green, whatever the hell it is.
Yep,
yellow.
That music told me that they were going to be making it.
Yeah, that's true. And the music always is the giveaway, unfortunately. But yeah, Ryan's not a great spot. And like I said, just overplaying and just trying, Gio sent me a vote out. It's Survivor. You got to play big. But playing smart is also a thing.
Or just play to stay.
Right. I mean, look at. I mean, they watched. They did see season 41 with Erica, who did nothing the whole game, just got to the end and won.
Right.
So that's not a bad idea, But Probst wants to Thing is, what you got to do is you got to tell Jeff what he wants to hear, especially during tribal. Just tell him what he wants to hear, so he won't bother you, and then just shut up, and then just play. Then just play the game, because everybody always wants to be like, Jeff wants to play big. Why does Jeff want you to play big? Because playing big is more entertaining.
TV.
Right, it's a TV show.
Funny.
Right, so if you just tell Jeff what he wants to hear, and then go do what you want to do anyways, you're better off, because there's no point in trying to play big when it's just going to cost you the game. Playing smart is better.
Yeah.
And Ryan's kind of overplaying right now, which is a problem.
And it will catch up to him soon.
It might, but again, now that you have the merge, things always reset the merge. I mean, whatever spot you're in before the merge is different. Whatever spot you're in before a swap is different. Anytime the things get shuffled up, it definitely changes things. And they're swapping this week they're swapping this season at 13. It looks like, or merging at 13. It looks like, which is kind of crazy because they used to merge that when they had 20 people, but they're merging that with 18, and so it's gonna be a really big merge for a tribe a cast that has only been on the same beach for, in this case, 11 days, and they're already merging, and they've only been on the same, they haven't swapped or anything like that either, so it's interesting. I'm interested to see how it goes, but they've only lost 5 people and they're already merging, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about who else is in the bottom 3. And do you remember who else we have in the bottom 3, Jessica?
Janine,
yeah, why her?
Well,
She got an idol.
She got an idol. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the 2 girls feel like they're running the show, and she feels like she's in a really safe spot, but I don't think that's accurate because they have no control with the numbers. If the guys want to work together, they're out. I mean, she also doesn't have a vote. That's probably why you have her down there. She won't have a vote for the next tribal.
For sure. And Gio obviously was the first guy to go out of the game, so 4 women have gone out in a row, and none of the women seem to notice that they're all getting picked off one by one, which is kind of insane. But yeah, she's definitely the bottom because, again, why, it was even more egregious for Jesse. But why are you risking your vote? Like, what? Why? What's the advantage you're gonna do? You just found an idol. Like,
She wants to play and play hard.
it's stupid. Play smart.
Drive fast, Ricky Bobby.
Just it's dumb, right? So don't do that. Instead, you just got an idol. You know, they always want to risk it because they don't think there's any gonna be any, like there's gonna be no consequences for risking it, but there is consequences, and we see this. So don't risk it. Just save your vote. You have an idol. Get through the next vote.
All right.
Get through the next vote, and that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. You got an idol. Don't be stupid. Don't overplay, and that's of course
suspicious.
and that's- exactly. And that's what they all want to do. They all want to overplay because it's fun or whatever, but it's also stupid. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Who else is the bottom three?
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah.
Why Jesse?
Why you calling me Jesse?
Exactly.
Well, he also lost his vote. But besides that, what's her name? The Olympian or the
Noelle.
Paralympic? No. Yeah, Noelle. He's kind of on her radar because she's mad about how he was voting before, was going behind her back on things. But, I mean, the biggest thing now is he's going into the next tribal without a vote. And, hopefully his alliance can save him or alliance that he's possibly make.
Yeah, he was with Dwight, and then he was kind of working with Cody on the side of it as well. So maybe they go after Noelle, but obviously they're swapping, so it doesn't really matter, or merging or whatever, so it doesn't really matter. But it was absolutely egregious for him to do. It was worse for Jesse to do it than Janine, because at least Janine, she thinks she's the majority, so doing that, at least it's tie, which is still not good, but you have an idol, so you're not going home. Jesse, it's just stupid. Why are you risking your vote when you could easily, again, you have no idol and you don't need the advantage. Your vote is way more important than than any advantage you'd get. Bailey agrees. So it's it's way worse to risk your vote for something. Again, what's the upside? You don't even know what the advantage is. It could be only good for one vote. Well, then you lost your vote. Who the heck cares, right? You don't even. I mean, it's not worth it, especially in this game, especially when you don't really know where the numbers are now. Because Dwight could be mad at you. Cody could be mad at you. You want to go after Noelle? Who knows? Anything can happen. So your vote is way more valuable, and people just keep risking it for no reason. The advantage isn't worth it losing your vote. And now if you have to merge, maybe that resets. Maybe you don't lose your thing now. Maybe you get your vote back. I don't know. But it's not a smart thing to do, especially when you don't exactly know where the numbers are.
Yep. Exactly.
Bailey agrees.
Yep. Agreed.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Overplaying is really bad, and we're here to play the game. Yes, but you're also here to win the game, right? Because you play to win the game. You don't play just to play. You play to win the game. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Who's in the top three, Jessica?
Sammy.
Yeah, why Sammy?
Because he's created a stronger bond with Gabler when he was telling Gabler, I was trying to get to you and let you know, don't give your bead to Janine because she now has immunity idol. So he kind of gave him the heads up. Sammy gave Gabler the heads up now that Janine also has an idol and, building his bonds with his people.
Yeah, and he's definitely playing both sides. And like I said, so Gabler seems like the easy vote, but and I said if things don't reset at the merge, then Gabler's he can play that idol next week. He has to at his next tribal. He has to play it. And if he wins immunity or something, he's play on somebody else, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that can happen with that, but he's playing both sides really well because nobody suspects anything.
Yeah.
And he may not even need to turn anybody if they go to the merge, whatever. But Sammy's he's doing that. He's smart. He's playing both sides. He brought Gabler in and said, "Hey, Gabler, just so you know, this what happened. This is." But like I said, what should happen if Owen or he could have done it? They could have said, "Hey, I'll give you my bead to Janine," and then told Gabler, "Be the stick in the mud.
Yeah.
Don't do it."
Right.
And then make Gabler the bad guy, and then they're fighting with him anyways. And you could look like the good guy, make Gabler the bad guy. And Gabler, caved really easily. He's like, "Oh, this is for my daughter." And then he's like, "Oh, can I please have it?" He goes, okay,
These two back for that one. All right.
Yeah. So, and he was kind of seemed like kind of a softie, which is interesting. I didn't really see that from him, but
Yeah.
So he Sammy's been the Gabler whisperer. He's been talking to Gabler, keeping Gabler in his pocket, and he's got everybody kind of the entire tribe's kind of circling around him, which is interesting. So
Yeah.
and he's only 19.
Yeah.
So who else?
James.
Number 2 is James. Why James?
He's got a pretty strong bond with Carla, and they are kind of running their tribe at this moment.
Yeah. They have Cassidy out with them, and then Ryan's going to be probably desperate to work with them. So those two are the two tightest pair. And the thing that's interesting is Cassidy is kind of she thinks James and Carla are the friends who are close with each other than they are with the third friend, if that makes sense, right?
Yep.
So everybody wants to be James's friend, everybody wants to be Carla's friend, and Cassidy's like, yeah, they're my best. Yeah, James is my best friend. Carla's my best friend. Carla's like, yeah, best friend. Yeah, we're each other's best friend, but you can pretend you can say you're our best friend. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is with Cassidy.
Right.
So, and James is definitely he's strong physically and he's doing well in that regard.
Yeah.
And number 1, I think she was number 1 last week. She's been in the top 3 I think every week so far. She's playing a really really good game. Doesn't mean she's gonna win because that person that usually gets clipped at some point, but she's not out in the open. She's definitely not a person who seems like a threat, but she definitely is. Number 1 play of the week again is
Carla.
Yeah, why her?
Because she rocks. Literally, no. She's definitely more in control of her tribe than is put on, I guess, with everybody. She makes it seem like it's all a group thing, but really she's making the moves that are going to be beneficial to her.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for her, it was actually smarter to get rid of Ryan because she had a working relationship with Gio and really didn't have one with Ryan. But everybody else, she's definitely the most in control of her tribe than anybody else is in control of their tribe. And she's working well with Ryan. They said Cassidy wants to work with her, and I think Ryan's going to be, at the merge, I think Ryan's going to cling to her. Who knows? He could go blow stuff up and try to make a problem, but I don't know. I think and there's gonna be another twist. It's not gonna be the hourglass twist, but there's yes, exactly. It's not gonna be that one, but there's gonna be a different one, which may make things interesting. But Carla again playing a good game. She's doing well, and we'll see how she does going forward, continuing. But again, the best one. I think she's playing the best game overall. She's in the most control, and nobody really knows she's in control. Some people, Sammy's doing the same thing. I think kind of like Cody or Jesse, they're in control of their tribe, but everybody knows it. So I don't think they're in as good of a spot as someone like a Carla.
Right.
So, and she has an idol that nobody knows about. I mean, maybe they do. Eventually, they'll figure it out. I don't know, but she definitely is in a good spot, and Bailey agrees.
Bailey knows about it.
Bailey knows. He's like, I'm gonna blow the whistle. I'm gonna bark about it. So
he is the only one that matters that knows about it.
yeah, well, guess what? We did the Survivor team, and your 2 team lost. So I don't want to hear it. You had the 2 left on the Winners at War, and they didn't win. So you didn't win. I don't want to hear it. You don't know anything. You know more than me though, because I always pick the losers. Anyways, anything else, Jessica?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because he's being a pain in my butt. Right, man. I know he's gotta go. He's like, I got pee. Let's go. All right. Well, on that note, anything else, Jessica?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe we'll be back next week. We'll see. We'll try to figure out. This is kind of going week to week on the schedule with the co-hosts and guests and everything right now. But appreciate Jessica being back as always. I'm stuck with you. Yeah, for sure. The ring says so.
Permanently. Yeah.
Exactly. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. You can like our Facebook page. It's Pavement Road Prod on Facebook. You can email the show directly, pavementproductions@gmail.com. Subscribe, share the post, tell your friends. Thanks for listening. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for sharing the posts. And until next time, I got nothing else for you because the tribe has spoken.